Hi, Dave Snyder here. It is the 18th of May, 2017. And you're going to have to use your imagination here a little bit and work with me a little bit on this one. This is real. This is the real deal here. Now, I've already shown so many times that these weather patterns that they show us, these satellite images they give us that have this real good detail, they show us basically a backwards print that you would find on the lunar surface almost in very good detail. Just look at this picture, how this got this round shape, right? And in this picture, I call this the goddess typhoon actually. And in this picture, you can see if you can see it. See if you can see anything. Do you see anything inside like say this was a coin, right? A coin. You know how they got the lady like the Lady Liberty or whatever in the coins and stuff like that. Just picture that. And I'll show you here. Okay, right here basically you see a side profile of it like an Arab person, right? The side profile of it, like a mustache like this, comes down the side. See that? Okay, that's that. And then you see the goddess right here. This is the goddess. You see the tiara, her hair, her face. And if you look up goddess pose, now I never knew what a goddess pose was. I didn't even think of it until after I saw this. This is the arm. This is the elbow, and the arm goes up. And this is the hand that goes out, like walk like an Egyptian type deal. And then if you look up goddess pose, that is exactly what you'll find, is women showing this pose right here. So that I thought that was interesting right from the start, because I've seen, I've already seen many of these things before. It's not like I just ran across this and just my imagination ran wild. That's not what happens. That's not even close. There's something in this picture that you're needing to see. Like, I'm going to show you in a minute. I shared earlier a picture of Christ getting ready to punish the earth, right? The one where it showed the picture of him getting ready to spank the earth. That's an important picture. Okay, so first what I had to do with that picture was I had to flip it over, because the way that it was painted and made for you to see would have been the way that they seen it from the earth looking at the moon. So I had to flip the picture over for it to fit the surface of the earth, because it would be backwards, if you understand what I'm saying. Anything you put over the earth that would have been from the moon, you'd have to flip over to make it fit. Okay, so that's what I did. And here is that image. Isn't it? Where is it at? Down here somewhere. Must be this one. Okay, so this is that picture I shared earlier. Remember where he's got his arm up? Look at the arm up. Okay, the hand's not out, but the arm is up, definitely up. And you see the same. All I did was line the head up. Look at the head. I put it right in the same place, and look at the arm is right in the right place, the right side, because you have to flip it over. And then just look at this corner over here where all these girls are right here. Just look at that corner. Watch. Isn't that something? I think it is. You don't see it on the other side, but you gotta realize that they've got to have balance in the image. But look at that picture. You see how they got the loose, how this is this loose robing or whatever whatever this thing that they call like toga. I don't know. You know what I mean? But you can see that like on this side, like draping down from her arm. See that? I see that. I think that's interesting too, because you look at the lines in that picture that they painted for us in some cathedral somewhere. It's amazing. This probably was a mustache that was added. I swear, that's what I've thought the whole time. But look at this. This is the wing. This is Isis. This is Isis too. Whatever was that showed this on the moon was where Isis came from. This is the wing. See the wing? And they would just have to add the wing on the other side to balance the image or whatever, or maybe there was a wing looking shape on the other side. But then when it was changed to Jesus, they had the disciples or whatever, the two guys or whatever that stood beside him, the two main guys, Peter and Paul or whatever. I don't know their names, but that would be this guy. And they, just like the other image I've showed before in the past, where they showed that one with the wings, there's a winged person on one side, and on the other side, the other guy doesn't have. He's got something else, like a book or something. Well, look at this. It's got one wing on one side, and then there's no wing on the other side. So that's just another matching. I'd have to show you for you to understand, but just just focus on what I'm trying to show you here. If you look at the backside of a quarter, it's got the same wing, like the eagle wing. It's got the on the back of a quarter, okay, or an older quarter has the wings. Well, that's it. It's almost identical to this pattern you're seeing here, because the coin actually is derived from that crater. That's where the idea came from. That's where the logo came from. That is the logos, the word or whatever. It comes from that. I'm telling you, this crater that shapes this weather right here is so important. It used to be seen all over the planet in our weather, and it still is actually. I just showed it to you, or no, I didn't show it to you. I just showed in the weather right here. There's a This is what it looks like today. This is how they show it to us today. This used to be better. It would be more defined in the old days, but this is what we get nowadays. This is the same pattern. And then I just showed that superstorm. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is something else. I can't believe that's still like that. But they used to show us the radar. They took the radar away from us. They changed the weather to garbage. I mean, it's just because of these overlays. I'm telling you, it's not something I'm imagining. Been doing this for years. But that is the goddess Typhoon. That's my introduction to my craziness. You can think it's crazy if you want, but that's what it shows. And I've shown so many more things that have, oh my God, that have shown this. You would not even believe the things that I have shown and what I've found and what I've learned doing this. I mean, this is just a taste of the craziness. I mean, the first time I put Jesus into this circle, it fit right in there. Like I said, one guy had the wings and one guy did not have the wings, and I'll show you that image someday. I'll share it after I make the video or something. But it shows Jesus in the middle, and it shows the his two best guys, two top guys. One guy has the wing on it, like an angel, and the other guy does not have wings. And that's exactly what we're seeing in this picture. I just realized that myself on this just now, just trying to explain this to you. But you also see like those like the wine bottle, or this could be the earth, like they show in this picture right here of him with the earth. Oh, that's the weather. This one. You know, see how some of it's on the wrong side or whatever. I don't understand that. But you see, if you look at a picture of the crater that does this, there are circles like that earth. And you would see the same, like I said, the one guy with the wing. If I showed you the good image of Schrodinger, but you can see that. Look at that inside there. Look at the border. See how it's got this thick border, thick edge? It's like a double, bold edge. Look at the edge of this picture. This represents that crater. This whole thing represents the crater, and I'm telling you, this thing right here is a punisher, because look, it's a super typhoon in this picture. It creates floods and everything else. And these things right here are Christ storms. And that's why everywhere where these take place, there's big statues of Christ. Well, I've looked into it. I'm telling you, they are there. Just like in Rio de Janeiro, where I just showed you that storm was down by Rio in Brazil. That's why the statue of the Redeemer is there, because this print shows there in South America, right there by Rio. Right? Look at this. Look at the big circle right there. You see the edge of it right here. Look. This is it. It shows right there. You can see it. I used to be able to see it better. They got it all blended in and messed with. That's how they do. That's how they do us. But that's the same thing. And just like I showed, I don't know if anybody was really paying attention or will pay attention or whatever, but it's it's up to you whether you will or not. And that's this one here. This is weather that was right here. This is aligned over the exact place where it took place. See that? There's India there. There's China up there, and it's all lined up. It's pretty close to being right on. Okay, this was a super typhoon that happened in 2014 on September the 15th. Okay, well, look at that pattern. And then look at this pattern of the lunar South Pole flipped over backwards. Just line up the Schrodinger basin over that typhoon, and then look at the rest. That is the entire lunar South Pole right there. You know what they call this area of the Earth? The third pole. I'm just saying. I'm telling you, this every typhoon or hurricane goes with this, or it goes with the Sea of Moscow, or it goes with Mare Oriental. Mare Oriental goes right here too. This is the Orient, and Mare Oriental will go right here, absolutely, backwards. Very large, always large. Look how large that is. The moon's supposed to be 2,000, about 2,000 miles or something. Not very long, not very big. This is, look, this is the size they say the moon is. Right? They say it's only that big. That's just the size of the crater it leaves. I mean, it actually leaves a bigger crater than that on the Earth. But look at that. That's supposed to be the size of the moon right there. And it's not. It's not what the Earth shows. Every pattern that it shows is always bigger like this. Every one. Every single one. And look at that. You see that's an accurate alignment over that pattern. This is not oversized. This weather's not oversized. It's exactly the size it was the day it happened. So, this pattern is on the Earth. The way that this is shaped is not from the moon. It's not doing it from the moon today. This is shaped from a pattern that's on the Earth. I mean, the moon could be affecting it still, but this is on the Earth. This shape, where you see this weather, this exact shape is on the surface of the Earth. That's why this is shaping itself this way. That's why all weather shapes itself that way. You see how this looks like the shape of the Himalayas? Because it is the shape of the Himalayas. Because weather shapes itself like the surface of the Earth. Always. Always. This big circle is on the surface of the Earth. And it's a big volcano underneath the ocean. And all these are volcanoes underneath the ocean. Or underneath the land or something. It's definitely different temperatures in these locations than it is in this clear spot or whatever. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's my craziness. That's where it all comes from. But it all started with a documentary of how the Earth was made when they were talking about the Marianas Trench. And they said, oh, it remained a mystery to this day what created the Marianas Trench. And they showed the moon. And then you go to look at this and look at it. This is the Marianas Trench and look at it. They showed the moon, people. We're talking about the deepest place on the planet Earth, and they showed the moon. When they said it remained a mystery to this day what created the Marianas Trench. And they showed the moon. Why would they show the moon? That's where this whole thing started for me. And then I noticed this big circle. I mean, it just went on and on. On and on. Everything is created from that hole. The mother hole. And this was the land down under. This was the bottom continent. This was underneath Africa and all the other continents at one time. They moved aside. This came up or was uplifted this is the newest continent. The last one to arise from the big mother volcano. It's the last one. And you can see why that's why it's red, and that's why there's so much gold all over under the ground. Because and in big nuggets too. Nice sized nuggets. But because it was the bottom. That's how it works. Everything settles to the bottom. That's why it's red. That's why this is not red. Nothing else red like that. And I've showed the building of that continent. You can just watch that in another video. Anyways, that's the method to my madness. Have a great night, great day, great morning. And thank you for watching. Till next time. Just find your own story. It's better than theirs. I like mine better than theirs anyway. Alright.